Welcome to another episode of The Read Pile. This time we are talking about Gunning for Ramirez, and I actually keep an Amazon wish list for comics that I would like to check out, but I don't yet have enough information to make a decision on whether to buy or not buy. Gunning for Ramirez is a title that was on that list back when it was in its original form, which is French, and then Image. These are put up by Image, by the way. I have volumes 1 and 2. Image, this is a couple of years ago because volume 1 came out slightly over 2 years ago. I saw Image was putting it out. I was super excited. I'm like, oh man. It looked absolutely brilliant. It looked amazing. And I really wanted to read it. So I was super excited. Got this. Loved it. It ends not exactly on a cliffhanger, but it doesn't also exactly end. So almost 2 years later of impatient waiting, volume 2 comes out. I will tell you this ends in a to be continued. I don't have confirmation of this, but I do believe things will wrap up in volume 3. It seems like all of the players are in place. Story elements are starting to come together. Threads are merging. So it seems like volume 3 should conclude the story, and hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I will gladly take more. This is amazing. I will spoil that now and just say the series is fantastic, highly recommended. At its core is this guy here, Ramirez. There is a crime family. There are these two women. There is this car. There's a vacuum cleaner. There is So Ramirez is working for a vacuum cleaner company, and in this world, they are essentially Apple. They're treated with that Apple level of sort of reverence. There's a press conference happening in Volume 1 where an entire diner full of people are watching that press conference on TV. They're sort of cheering for the next model of vacuum that is being announced, and they're just enraptured. It's very funny. There are also ads, I should say, occasionally sprinkled throughout, but they are sort of Robocop levels of funny and satirical. I just want to show off this art. I haven't talked about the art yet, but oh my god. I love this guy's art. It's a very cinematic feel. There's also some talking heads. Here's a movie poster. There are some of these sprinkled throughout as well. There is Jacques, so it's Jacques Ramirez. Just, oh god. Oh, so the art is beautiful. The story is also very interesting, and as I said, funny. What happens essentially is there are a couple of members of the crime family that wind up going to the vacuum cleaner company. While there, they recognize Jacques as being a guy that they have been looking for years. They come back with more guys through a series of events. Things escalate quickly. A building blows up. At the same time, these two are robbing a bank. They wind up all in the same car. There's a highway chase scene, and that ends Volume 1 in a very condensed telling of events. And then at the end of this, there is a surprise appearance by... it doesn't really reveal who that character is, but here we get much more on the mysterious character. We get much more on these two women, the crime family. I'll say this, so on the back here, Ramon Perez has gone insane, and as far as back copy goes, that might be one of the best opening lines I've ever seen. But this guy here is Ramon Perez. He is after Jacques. You can see it looks like he's playing guitar on a vacuum, which is also fantastic. There are more car explosions. This dirt bike and helicopter makes sense in context of what's happening. It's really incredibly good. Highly recommended. I'll say again, I think a Volume 3 is coming. I don't have confirmation on that, but whenever it does, I absolutely recommend getting that. I for sure will be. I want to see how this ends. I want to support this guy. He's doing simply amazing work. I'll say too, there are sequences where it's heavy on dialogue. This is not a complaint, but we'll get these heavy dialogue sequences, and then it leads into action shots. They are very cinematic, leaping a banister from an upper level, and then that leads to first. Just want to show off how amazing that panel is. Love it. But that leads to more cinematic shots like this. Whew. It's fantastic. I love it. It, as I said, Volume 2, I think, has more depth as far as story, character development go. Book 1 is probably a bit more humorous. They have more world building to do. There's a bit more building in general going on here, and this is just hitting the gas. Like, things escalate quickly. They're running at high speed, and there is occasional slow down moments of that heavy dialogue between, really punctuated with action sequences. It is incredibly well told, highly recommended, and I eagerly await more, both of Ramirez and from this writer artist. He's fantastic. I'm loving every second of it.